Joao was a successful businessman, known for his coldness and rigidity. After an intense argument with his son Pedro, he decided to impose a severe punishment. To teach him to value what he had, Joao ordered Pedro to marry Clara, a homeless woman living on the streets of the city. Pedro, desperate, tried to argue, but Joao was adamant. The wedding was set for the following week, and Pedro had no choice but to accept his fate. On the wedding day, the ceremony was simple, with no guests or pomp. Clara, dressed in a simple white dress that Pedro had bought, looked at the ground, trying to hide her shame and discomfort. Pedro, however, was determined to turn this situation into something positive. During the ceremony, Pedro held Clara's hand and, in a low voice, promised to help her. He knew his father was trying to teach him a lesson, but Pedro had his own plan. After the wedding, Pedro took Clara to a modest apartment he had rented. There, he explained his plan. He wanted Clara to stay with him for a year, enough time to change his father's perception. In return, he would help her rebuild her life, offering her education, emotional, and financial support. Clara, initially reluctant, accepted. Over time, they began to grow closer, sharing stories of their lives and creating an unexpected bond. Months passed, and Clara transformed. She went back to school, found a job, and began to regain her self-esteem. Pedro, in turn, fell in love with the strong and determined woman Clara had become. Their relationship blossomed, and their love grew in an unexpected way. They were no longer just partners in an agreement, but a passionate and committed couple. Joao, noticing the change in his son and Clara, decided to confront them. He couldn't believe his plan had failed so spectacularly. Pedro, now more confident and determined, faced his father. "You thought you would destroy me, father, but instead, you gave me the chance to find true love and help someone get back on their feet." Joao, furious, revealed his true plan. He didn't just want to punish Pedro, but also expose Clara, who he believed was an opportunist. To his surprise, Clara pulled a document from her pocket and handed it to Joao. "I knew about your plan from the start, Joao, but you underestimated who I am." Joao opened the document, and his face turned pale. Clara wasn't just any homeless person. She was the heir to a vast fortune, abandoned by her biological family as a child. She had spent years on the streets, trying to understand her past and find her true place in the world. With the truth exposed, Joao tried to reconcile with Pedro and Clara. The family, now united by even stronger bonds, decided to move forward, leaving the past behind. Pedro and Clara, stronger than ever, continued to build their life together, determined to turn the pain of the past into a bright future. And Clara, finally, found her place, not just as a beloved wife, but also as a woman with a promising future and a story of overcoming adversity to tell.